All right, guys, let's play the blame game today, shall we? And it's a real easy game to play because no matter what it is we're talking about, we always blame Donald Trump. My name's Howard Real, and this is Real Truth. Item from Breitbart. You'll see how the game's played. Listen up. China's currency dropped against the dollar to its lowest level in a decade, prompting President Donald Trump on Monday to accuse China of manipulating its currency. Quote, China dropped the price of their currency to an almost historic low, Trump said in a tweet. It's called currency manipulation. Are you listening, Federal Reserve? This is a major violation which will greatly weaken China over time. Unquote. Trump's fault. Obviously, I mean, just listen to the major media. In fact, I was talking to someone less than a half an hour ago. It says Trump's fault. Now, if you're a regular listener of Real Truth, chances are you recognize this is moronic. The Chinese have been manipulating their currency for many, many, many years. Donald Trump's been president for 2.5 years. So, explain the connection to me. Here's what's changed in the equation. China has been beating our brains out with a baseball bat, and we have never fought back until Donald Trump. That's a good thing. If any of you out there have ever been in a fight, what would happen if you stopped fighting? Not the other guy. What if you alone didn't fight back? Exactly. Now, as long as we're blaming Donald Trump, I mean, let's really go to town on the guy, shall we? So Chinese devaluing their currency, that's Trump's fault, even though they've been doing it for years before he became president. Illegal aliens coming here, well, that's Donald Trump's fault too. Yeah, I know they've been sneaking into our country as long as we've had a country, but that doesn't matter. It's Donald Trump's fault. Without Muslims around the world getting violent, committing jihad. Never happened in the world's history until Trump became president, right? It's his fault. What about white supremacists? We never heard about them. There were no lynchings, no racial crimes against blacks in the South. Never, ever happened until 2016 when Donald Trump was elected president. I mean, just check out this headline from MSN.com. These people, here's the headline. Trump's anti-immigrant rhetoric looms over the El Paso massacre. Of course, nobody ever opened up on a crowd with a gun, ever, until Donald Trump came around. We know this is for a fact. Well, here's what you don't know. I was looking out the window last night, and it had been bright sunshine all day long, but then after a while, the sunshine faded and it got dark. You know why? It's Donald Trump's fault. And I suspect, I'm going to do some research on this, I suspect that the dinosaurs became extinct. You know why? You want to take a guess why? I'll tell you why. Donald Trump. It's his fault. Everything is Donald Trump's fault. If you don't believe me, ask any Democrat. Item from thehill.com. President Trump on Monday said fake news has contributed to growing anger and rage in the country in the wake of 2 mass shootings over the weekend, marking the second time he has criticized media coverage in the aftermath of a tragedy. Quote, the media has a big responsibility to life and safety in our country, Trump tweeted. Fake news has contributed greatly to the anger and rage that's built up over many years. News coverage has got to start being fair, balanced, and unbiased, or these terrible problems will only get worse. Unquote. Just so happens, the president is absolutely spot on correct. You can't turn on a TV these days or go online without hearing about racism, like it's the most horrible thing in the world. Racism is horrible, but we've got real problems facing this country, and bickering between the races isn't making anything better. The media realizes that racism is a flash word. It's a red flag in front of a bull, and so they're always and forever talking about race, and that's what ratchets up people's anxiety and leads to violence. If the media would shut up and report real news like they're supposed to, I'm convinced we'd have much less racial strife in this country than we have. And believe me, I don't think we have that much at all. I think it gets cacophonied out into the echo chamber of the media, and it seems like a lot, and it really isn't. Item from the Chicago Tribune. Over the past 2 years, the movement to divide the state of Illinois into two states, Cook County in one, the other 101 counties in the other, has been gaining support. In February, as Governor J.B. Pritzker was pursuing an agenda for Illinois that included new tax and abortion policies, Holbrook refiled a resolution in the state legislature in which he and 6 co-sponsors asked the U.S. Congress to recognize Chicago as the 51st state. Quote, I heard a lot from my constituents that we need to be separate from Chicago, Holbrook said. I thought, yep, that's what we need to do. Unquote. Related item from The Guardian, all around the Bay Area, they hide in plain sight. The vehicles doubling as shelters. Some are easily recognizable, an overstuffed RV with so many items strapped to the sides that the wheels appear sunken down. A van with a taped up window, a camper so antiquated it doesn't seem operational. Others can pass as your neighbor's car, a 2006 Lexus sedan in great condition, a late model vehicle kept neat for Uber and Lyft rides. San Francisco counted 1,794 people living out of their vehicles in 2019, a 45% increase from the last homeless count in 2017. Folks, what do San Francisco, California in general, and Chicago in particular have in common? They're all toilets made so by Democrat politicians. Year after year, decade after decade, Democrat tax and spend policies have crushed and destroyed those citizens and those cities, and that's why they want California to be the 51st state. I would love to see it. I would love to see it drop out of the country and become its own nation. And they want Chicago the hell out of Illinois because it's poisoning the water. Democrat policies don't work, never have worked, never will work. And when Americans realize that, they want to be as far away from them as possible. We'll be right back.
Before hiring a big corporation who outsources their job that pays little to no taxes, ask yourself, what do you really want in a realtor? You need a realtor who's honest and has integrity. A realtor who's focused on the client's bottom line, not the realtor's bottom line. Who provides over-the-top service before, during, and after the transaction. You want a realtor that knows how to market your property. Hi, I'm James Morgan, a realtor with Grisham and Associates LLC. I am your Colorado real estate specialist. Land deals, mountain cabins, or urban dwellings, I've got you covered. For the first-time home buyer, we will make it the best experience. If you are looking to move up or downsizing, we will do better than your last transaction. Call me today at 720-203-0731 or visit coloradoproperties.online. Let me do a great job for you. Just about anywhere. So why do you use the insurance rating for 20 years? Just like that. Ain't no rating better than zero. Just like that. Just like that. No just like that. Fine. No value. Just like that. We're on the goal to build a qualification rating at 8951059. Just like that. Gun! 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 If you're looking to buy a firearm, go immediately to the big red building on 9,000 block. Grandpa's pawn and gun. The second highest volume gun dealer in Colorado with 500 guns to choose from. Call 303-772-7952.
In fact, my friends, people in the mainstream media and the left want to blame Trump so much they can taste it. Here is the Glenn Beck show talking about how the mainstream media wants to blame Trump. They're ignoring the real motive, which means these tragedies can occur again. Here we go.
If we can get rid of enough people, then our way of life will be used.
Well, what else do you expect them to say? Do you expect the Democrat candidates to come up with a policy to put more money in Americans' pockets? They say they want just the opposite. You think they're going to come out on stage and talk about how to make America safer, more secure? They want just the opposite. You think they're going to crack down on crimes? Just the opposite. They're creating sanctuary cities for criminals. So what do you expect the Democrats to talk about except Donald Trump? What created the environment in which the KKK flourished for decades? In fact, it still exists. I've seen pictures of the KKK from back in the 1920s. Was that Donald Trump's fault also? Well, my friends, people do outrageous things because they think they can get away with it. The media obviously thinks that they can go out and tell as many lies as they want and they'll still be okay. Well, they're not. CNN, MSNBC, and other TV outlets that do this are all seeing their viewership wave goodbye. They've got plunging ratings, and that's good. That's exactly as it should be. They should be out of business for daring to lie to the American people. But that's what they're doing. Item from the Hollywood Reporter. The CW drama Batwoman features the first out lesbian superhero to have her own show. When Batwoman executive producer Sarah Schechter and showrunner Caroline Dries met with their eventual star, Ruby Rose, the Australian model turned actress wasn't sure about committing to a television show. But Rose said Sunday at the Television Critics Association summer press tour that she knew she wanted to sign on for the role after hearing the duo's impassioned story pitches. Quote, when we talked about it and I saw how passionate they were, and they were yelling over the top of each other and finishing each other's sentences, I was watching this ping pong match thinking that if they're that invested in this and it makes them so happy and it's telling the story I wish I was on television when I was a kid and Caroline wishes and Sarah, I believe there are going to be people that this changes their lives, she told reporters. I believe there's some people that won't find themselves. I mean, I think there's definitely someone for everyone in the show, but if you don't find yourself in the show, that's probably because there's plenty of shows you already have out there. Unquote. My friends, the big news here, which gets lost in this story, is that now there's a lesbian Batwoman. Now, if you have been waiting for years and years and years, hoping against hope, praying that there would be a lesbian Batwoman, well, you need to get yourself to a psychiatrist fast. I remember a time, long, long, long ago in a galaxy far away, when people wanted equality. Well, it's gone. People now want superiority. And we're still so childlike in this country, so immature, that we can't take our eyes off people's crotches. Now, the Batwoman, got to be a lesbian Batwoman. And if the lesbian is black or Hispanic, so much the better. This is about as stupid as the media gets. And look, I'm never going to be watching this show. I hope you won't either. What a stupid thing to do. Item from the Washington Examiner. Former Vice President Joe Biden misstated the locations of mass shootings in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, while speaking to donors at a high-dollar fundraiser in San Diego Sunday night. Biden, 76, mistakenly referred to the shootings as, quote, the tragic events in Houston today and also in Michigan the day before, unquote, before correcting himself, according to the Pool report. Biden seemingly confused Houston for El Paso and Michigan for Ohio when speaking to donors about the shootings, unquote. My friend, Joe Biden has reached beyond the point where he's simply a stupid man. Now he is unable to think clearly anymore. Is that really someone you want in the White House? And if he is thinking clearly, he's going to push forward policies that will bankrupt this country and leave us vulnerable to our enemies. So yeah, Joe, keep running for president. The longer you're running, the longer Donald Trump is winning. That said, we are going to take a break. Oh, I got some news about Joe Biden's younger brother when we come back. Oh, you're going to love this one. No, not his son, Hunter. This is Joe Biden's younger brother. Ha ha. And he's the front runner, my friends, for the Democrats. He's their top gun. Gewalt. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more Real Truth.
Grandpa's pawn and gun over to 25 years of their family operated store and the only non-corporate pawn shop. According to alcohol traffic firearms, they are taking second highest volume firearms use. Grandpa has over 500 guns for sale at this time, plus an excellent variety of archery. Hunting season is just around the corner. Protecting the family is always the Grandpa's dad has over 5 years of experience, including physical, pretty, sales, who are licensed with 25 plus years of Grandpa. Jason here. I've known Rod, the owner of Grandpa's House, since the 1990s when I met his license, the location of Walmart. He was my first advertiser at KHNC. He is trustworthy and honest. I trust him. He will too. Call 303-772-7952. That's 303-772-7952. They're all free.
All right, guys, let's have a show of hands. How many of you watched the Democrat candidates debate on Fox the other night? All right, it's a trick question. Put your hands down. The DNC did not choose Fox to cover a debate. The DNC banned Fox from covering a Democrat debate because Fox is real journalism and they'd rather do it on CNN or MSNBC or some other left-leaning station where they won't ask really tough questions. Well, that's an outrage. I hope you're outraged by it because I know I am. So is Tucker Carlson on Fox News. Here he goes. Tom Perez, the head of the DNC, is an asswipe, a fool, and a liar. If he were telling the truth, he would say the Democrat candidates won't go on Fox because they'd much rather go on MSNBC and get softball cream puff questions, which is what happened. The DNC wants no part of Fox because Fox is journalism. They don't want to be asked tough questions. They want the press to be complicit in their crimes against America. That's what Tom Perez would say if he were not a lying piece of snot.
Couldn't do that. So that's a lie, and everyone in the news business knows it's a lie. Our news anchors don't consult Donald Trump or any other politician before asking their questions. They didn't in 2016, they don't now, they never will. Tom Perez is arguing that a political party should decide who gets to cover the news. Amazingly, CNN and MSNBC agree with him. Jeff Zucker issued a public statement saying so. Zucker didn't do it in his own voice, of course. He prefers to lurk behind the curtain. Instead, Zucker dispatched his creepy little spokesman to deliver the party line.
Fox has journalists like Brett Baer who do a good job. But every night in prime time, Democrats are dehumanized. They are attacked relentlessly by Fox News primetime hosts. It was always hard for me to imagine a Democratic primary debate taking place in those hours when figures like Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are constantly demonized and attacked.
This is Brian Stelter. The guy is garbage. He is a paid liar. He goes on CNN, lies, says stupid things, covers for Democrat politicians, and that's Brian Stelter. You know what it would be like if Fox News ran one of these debates? You've seen pro wrestling, right? And you know the matches are scripted. Each wrestler knows what the other's going to do. They work with each other. They make each other look good. And whoever's supposed to win wins. Fox News covering the Democrat debates would be like some big burly guy from the crowd jumping over the steel partition, climbing into the ring, and trying to beat the hell out of one of the wrestlers. Because he'd be fighting for real, whereas the wrestlers are fake. Fox News would be asking questions for real, whereas the debates on on MSNBC and CNN are fake. They're scripted. They're like professional wrestling. They don't want anyone coming out of the crowd looking for a real fight.
You figured out.
Well, wait a minute, Tucker. Why don't you name that person? Donna Brazil. Donna Brazil was the slime bag who did that, and now she's paid to be on Fox News. So, what exactly the hell is happening with Fox News? Not only do they have a piece of trash like Donna Brazil on there, who's an admitted liar, who's a hardcore leftist, now Tucker Carlson won't mention her name. What's going on with Fox?
Kid forgot to mention that.
Yeah, CNN is garbage, and so naturally their only defense is, well, the other people are garbage. Fox News is the only real news organization out there, my friends. And I've been a journalist for 40 years. I know what I'm talking about. Time for a commercial? Great. We'll be back.
Yearning for a company that need for our bigger business.
All right, guys, welcome back. There are terrible, terrible things happening around the country. These shootings in Texas, Ohio, absolutely horrible. Here is Donald Trump, our president, speaking earlier today about the two shootings. All right, guys, you know what? I'm going to stop the video because the sound is not good enough. I don't want to continue with it. Let's go to Newt Gingrich on Fox, talking about the level of anger he finds among Democrats. And I have found exactly the same thing. We're going to go there in 2 seconds, 1 second. Bingo. Here we go.
While Republicans are working every day to build up our country,
This is the president.
the rage-filled Democrat Party is trying to tear America apart. A vote for any Democrat in 2020 is a vote for the rise of radical socialism and the destruction of our great, our beautiful, our wonderful American dream. On issue after issue, Democrats have forgotten what it is that they're supposed to represent. Our shared Republican agenda is pro-worker, pro-jobs, pro-family, pro-growth, and 100% pro-America. I was watching the so-called debate last night. The Democrats spent more time attacking Barack Obama than they did attacking me, practically.
Big line, big night last night. The president unleashing on his political opponents at the rally in Ohio, pointing out one of the recurring mentions from the second night of debates, and that was former President Barack Obama and the hits that he was taking on stage. Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, you can sign up for his free newsletter at Gingrich360.com. Sir, thanks for your time. You got a cottage industry going there. Go ahead and frame the argument that the president is making there from last night, sir.
Look, I think Kim Strassel did a great job with the column where she said the choice is between the left and the crazy left, and the crazy left is winning. I watched the first night. It was amazing the level of anger that you got out of both Bernie Sanders and Senator Warren. I mean, these are really angry people. And it was kind of amazing to watch them. It's the opposite of how people normally win the presidency. You go back and you watch Barack Obama with a big smile. You watch Ronald Reagan with a big smile. I don't remember us electing an angry president, literally in my lifetime. And yet you had these people who were almost in a rage. You also had the fact that they're all drifting towards cloud cuckoo land. I mean, when you have a number of moderate Democrats on the stage, and they'll all be gone soon because they're not getting enough support to survive. But they're on the stage and they're saying, one of them said, if we go down this road of taking away everybody's health insurance, we'll be lucky to carry 2 states. Now, that was a Democrat in the debate warning his fellow Democrats that they could be throwing away the presidency. And I think we have to take that seriously. And of course, the president is watching all this, and he's exactly right. And he wants to stoke the fire a little bit about Obama. What's turned out is that President Obama is no longer radical enough for the left wing of the Democratic Party. So you end up with Biden defending Obama while the rest of the party attacks him. The truth is, on things like deportation,
Biden defending Obama because he must. He has to. He was Obama's vice president for 8 years. You bet he's going to defend Obama. And by the way, Obama is not endorsing Biden. What does that tell you?
Obama deported more illegal immigrants than any other president in American history. In terms of
And he's tougher than any president in modern times dealing with the Russians. Let me put it succinctly. Donald Trump is kicking ass and taking names. We'll be back.
Join us and don't miss the Gallery Junction, your number one source for visibility. Find out what the best free media is. Get awards from America, from freedom. We are legally 776. Exclusive reports, live coverage, information you won't find anywhere else. Tomorrow's news today. Stay informed by listening to KHNC 1360. The Alex Jones Show. KHNC, the heart of Northern Colorado. A lot of radio stations boast about having 2, 3, 4, 500,000 listeners. But what they don't tell you is the average listener only listens for 4 minutes. Song plays they don't like, same old boring commentaries, or worse yet, as soon as the commercial starts playing, they change the station. Here at 1360 KHNC, our listeners listen longer, a lot longer. We have one of the longest time spent listening in the industry. That means our listeners don't change the dial when the commercial starts playing because they don't want to miss what our host has to say next. Advertise at 1360 KHMC and have your message heard. Call us at 970-587-5003. We also have the best rates in Colorado. 970-587-5003 or 1360KHMC.com.
Item from Breitbart. Former Vice President Joe Biden's younger brother, James, is being accused of defrauding a Tennessee rural health care company. A lawsuit filed in federal court late last month alleges that James Biden, who has a history of murky financial dealings, and his associates deceived and defrauded 2 Tennessee businessmen. Unquote. My friends, how could this possibly be true? Middle-class Joe, blue-collar Joe, regular guy just like you and me. Yeah, I know about him and China and his son Hunter and the sleazy, disgusting garbage they had there. Some people say they sold out America, but look, nobody's perfect. And here's Joe Biden's brother. I have to believe he is as pure as the driven snow. He is, isn't he? Item from stereogum.com. The kids love storming things these days. Watch out, Area 51. And yesterday it was Lollapalooza's turn. Dozens of aspiring festival goers stormed the gates at Lollapalooza, hopping over the fence en masse. According to footage posted online, the cops guarding the festival only managed to stop one guy with a prosthetic leg, which doesn't even seem fair. Unquote. My friends, this is one of those instances where you see the entire world in a grain of sand. These kids wanted to get into the festival, and so they got in. If they had to break down walls, if they have to cheat, if they have to break the law, they don't care. They want what they want, and they're going to get it. How is that different from transgender? They want to mutilate their bodies, and the fact that it's completely brainless doesn't matter. They want what they want. What about gay rights? Forget what the Bible says. They want what they want. They want to stick this over there, and you can't tell them they're wrong. What about illegal aliens coming here, smashing through our border, using the things that we've created and earned, and they don't care. They want what they want. What about silencing free speech on campuses? We know that the Constitution guarantees free speech, but we don't want it, and so it won't happen. These are all the same thread running through our society. We've reached the point where people want what they want, and the hell with you if you think you're not going to get it. Right or wrong, legal or illegal, people today want what they want, and no one can tell them any differently. And that is perhaps the greatest of all the cancers killing our society. Item. From neonnettle.com, Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz, the world's youngest leader, has ordered the closing of 7 mosques and begun deporting radical imams back to their homelands due to violations of a recent law in Austria that bans political Islam. Quote, parallel societies, politicized Islam, or radical tendencies have no place in our country, Mr. Kurz said at a press conference announcing the measures in Vienna, while railing against the disastrous results of multiculturalism in Western Europe. Chancellor Kurz believes Muslims must be loyal to Austria and willing to integrate into society if they're to stay in the country. If they form a, quote, parallel society and start preaching political Islam, identity politics, and divisiveness, they will be expelled, unquote. My friend, since when is Austria so very much smarter than America? Item from Breitbart, CNN's Democrat primary debates on Tuesday and Wednesday night attracted just 8.7 million and 10.7 million voters, respectively, numbers that pale in comparison to June's Democrat primary debates hosted by NBC. So, folks, when I tell you Donald Trump is going to win this election going away, believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Item from CNSnews.com, the number of people employed in the United States hit a record 157,288,000 in July. Altogether now, as we go off the air, my friends, thank you, President Trump. I'll see you tomorrow. Hasta luego.